Hello. This is a sideshow. I'm Theodore Parker, and today is Tuesday, August 1st, 2023. The temperature in this area, Kentucky, Lexington, is around 60 degrees, going up to 85. Air quality is good. Pollen is high. Humidity around 82%. We're all aware that there's been a heat wave going on for the past few days, weeks actually in some places, like in the Midwest and so forth. And here, there's been a heat index, 94, feeling like 104, at least 6 or 7 degrees increase in the feel of the temperature above what it is reading on the thermostat. If you're watching the sideshow on Facebook and Instagram, like, comment, and share. WhatsApp, message me. The sideshow on YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget about the sideshow coffee cup. Buy from me for $17 plus shipping and handling. And pay me through Cash App, $ TR Parker 1. Heat. That's the common denominator across the country right now. I'm from the north, Pennsylvania, and I'm kind of used to cooling temperatures, but I have some sympathy for people that are up like in New York. They were catching a double whammy, smoke coming down from Canada and probably increase in temperatures, smog, and the rest of that. And I understand in some parts of the country there was a strike on garbage removal, trash removal, or something like that was accumulating. So we have all these things going on. And lost my phone. So I was thinking, Dad, where's my phone? I came inside, felt for it, said, don't have my phone. So I went on Play Store, or whatever it is, and found the app Find My Phone. So I found my phone. But it didn't do me much good because I couldn't access it. So, long story short, I ended up having to buy a new phone. And even with the discounts and arrangements, I still could have almost paid my rent. But I don't know if you can kind of see those graphics or whatever. Let me pull back a little bit. It's got a nice little graphic feel to it. And so many cameras. I'm like camera shy technically. I don't take many pictures of myself, but I may explore that. So there we go. Brand new phone. So, like I said, heat. Now, the last show I did, I mentioned something about various cultures and do a few comments on culture and heritage and how those things blend, and named a few specifics. Excuse me. Still dealing with allergies and pollen high count. And there may have been some feelings because I didn't run down anything on white people as being included. Well, for me, it's been white people and Jews. Nothing personal, just my experiences. And whenever I was offered something that was benefit to me, it was usually a Jewish person that did it. And history has shown all of us that white people in power are usually selfish. Wait, we're working on it. So, we do exist alongside each other, as in the case with any multi-flowered garden. That is the case. But in general, they usually are in power, and we usually are appealing to them for some benefits that we feel are due, or at the very least are long overdue. So we'll let that be where it is. As I mentioned some of the other Asian countries last time, I didn't mention the Philippines, I guess because they're part of the United States. But right now, in that part of the world, it is monsoon season, translated as the rainy season, with plenty of rain accompanied by high temperatures. So it does bear mentioning. 1st of August, 31-day month, and we do have a full moon. Speaking of the heat, again, that age-old admonition: hydrate. Don't forget about the food intake, liquids and water. And if you have read any ingredients labels or anything, portion labels on any food packaging, 2,000 calories is the average American diet for the average adult, I would say. So that's considered healthy for the average person. But you have to look at that in perspective. You can have a McDonald's Big Mac meal, and that will be almost half of that 2,000 calories. Or you can have chicken, a vegetable, and potatoes, and come in around 700 and leave something for some other meals during the day, called a balanced meal. Heat sensitivity, what it can feel like: lightheadedness, maybe a queasy stomach, weakness, low energy. So with all that being said, right tucked in with the weather was an article that was directed towards seniors being 55 and older. And that's somebody who's still in the workforce, because officially Social Security starts at 62, is available at 62, and I think you can round out at 65. Excuse me. So, this kind of gives details that are directed towards seniors, but I think would benefit the population in general. Because just as older people are sensitive to certain things, young people are sensitive to certain things. So this article is entitled "Extreme Heat is Particularly Hard on Older Adults. An Aging Population and Climate Change Put This Together." So I'm going to share it with you, and hopefully you'll see the benefit in my choice. So, Phoenix hit 110 degrees Fahrenheit, 43.3 Celsius, or higher every day for over 3 weeks in July. And considering that this is August, and technically summer is not going to be over until maybe the 22nd of September, we have over a month and a half to go with real summer days. Phoenix hit 110 degrees Fahrenheit or higher every day for over 3 weeks in July. Other major cities, from Las Vegas to Miami, experienced relentless high temperatures, which residents described as hell on earth. While the evening news runs footage of miserable sunbathers on Miami Beach and joggers in Austin, Texas, I knew somebody that lived in Austin. I knew somebody that visited Austin. Dousing themselves with water, these images conceal a growing hidden crisis. The millions of older adults who are suffering behind closed doors. As researchers who study older adults' health and climate change, we have found that two societal trends point to a potentially dire future. The population is getting older and temperatures are rising. Tickling in my throat. Some of the country's hottest states, including Arizona, are forecast to see dramatic growth in their older adult populations. But heat isn't just a problem in the South. Northern populations also face rising risks of extreme heat that many people aren't accustomed to. Communities, families, and older residents need to understand these risks and be prepared. Why older adults face higher heat risk. Triple-digit temperatures are miserable for everyone, but for older adults, they can be deadly. Older adults don't sweat or cool down as efficiently as younger people. Heat stress can worsen underlying conditions like heart, lung, and kidney disease, and extreme heat can trigger delirium. Poor air quality makes it harder to breathe, especially among people who already have breathing difficulties. For older adults with physical health problems, temperatures as low as 80 degrees, to say nothing of 110 degrees, can pose a grave danger. Now, this next one is something that I was not aware of. So, prescription medications make older people more sensitive to heat. Anticoagulant generics used to treat chronic obstructive pulmonary disorder, or COPD, reduce our capacity to sweat. Excuse me. Dehydration is a side effect of beta blockers, or diuretics, which are used to help control blood pressure. Medications also work best, and here's the one, medications also work best when stored at room temperatures of 68 to 77 degrees and may lose their effectiveness if not kept in a cool place on a very hot day. And it's not just physical health that suffers. Having to stay indoors all day to keep cool and enduring the stress of heat emergencies can make older adults depressed and isolated. Those with cognitive problems or dementia may not understand their health risks or may not take proper precautions. Seniors with physical disabilities, limited mobility, or lack of access to transportation can't easily travel to a public cooling center if there is one nearby. Drawn to high-risk regions. Retirees are often drawn to the South's sunny skies, low taxes, and cost of living and amenities like golf courses, beaches, healthcare facilities, and age 55 plus residential communities tailored to their needs. And I always say, McDonald's offers seniors a discount cup of coffee at age 55. In Phoenix, the share of residents over age 65 is projected to rise from 10% of its 1.6 million residents today to roughly 17% by 2050. At the same time that these populations are rising, the number of days people will need air conditioning is rising too. We use scenarios of future county level population and climate model output from NASA to assess the consequences of moderate and dramatic warming. Our project showed that ever-rising members of older people are at risk of the harmful physical and mental health consequences of heat extremes. We found that populations in historically hot locations like Arizona and desert regions of California are aging at a rapid clip, placing demands on cities, counties, and states to meet the pressing needs of older residents during heat waves. These include providing cooling centers and ensuring that they are physically accessible to those with mobility challenges, and training first responders to be sensitive to the special needs of older adults who may be reluctant to leave their homes during a heat emergency. Communities also need to find effective ways to warn snowbirds, vacationers, or recent migrants who might hail from cooler climates and be less aware of or adapted to the risk of extreme heat. Northern regions are at risk too. Our research finds that historically cooler places like New England, the upper Midwest, and the Pacific Northwest also have rising heat risk. These regions, historically home to high shares of older adults, are projected to experience the steepest increases in heat exposure relative to temperatures historically experienced. Older adults who are accustomed to the New England chill may not fully understand the threats an extreme heat wave can pose, and they may underestimate the harm they might suffer from a day in the hot sun. Older homes in the Northeast also tend to have less effective cooling systems. Nighttime heat can be particularly harmful for those without air conditioning, including people who live in densely populated northeastern and Rust Belt cities, where heat islands trap temperatures. For older adults with health conditions, a night of restless sleep may make one more depressed and confused during waking hours. What you can do about it? Older adults and their caregivers can take some steps to adapt. Stay indoors. Use air conditioning. Drink plenty of water. Don't use the oven, especially in small homes. Help an older adult with transportation to a cooling center. Place medications in the coolest spot in one's home. Be sensitive to symptoms like dizziness and call for medical attention as needed. However, community-scale adaptations also are needed. Public investments in early warning systems for extreme weather. Ride services to transport older adults to cooling centers and hospitals. Geographic information systems to help first responders identify neighborhoods with high concentration of older adults. And installation of energy-efficient air conditioning in homes and public settings can help to fight back against sweltering days in the future. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see this. Let me see. No, okay. There. The angle's all bad, but this is a map of the hot spots in the United States, and it's in gold and yellow and light tan. And it's almost every state, county, and city is affected. So that's kind of like what we're looking at in regards to seniors and the heat. And some of these things, especially symptoms of heat affecting a person, is something that everybody can pay attention to. That's it. Hashtag.